Well, hello everyone. Hope everyone's going to have a good day today. It looks like I'm a little sweaty because I've been out cutting grass. Came in to watch a little bit of, I believe it's TikTok, because I'm addicted to it now. And here we go. A lot of times I tell you my videos are based on something I read or saw this morning, and this one is no different from what I saw. You should maybe know, maybe don't know. I did a video a couple days ago talking about body cams of police stops and police officers arresting people suspected or known to be stealing from stores. But the one I came across this morning is someone who had been ejected from a plane flight, who'd already been on the plane and did something. They don't say what it was. It really doesn't make a difference. But the wife had been ejected from the plane. They didn't say how long it took her to get off the plane. Usually these people don't want to get off. They want to argue and fight to get off. But this was just outside the plane at the bottom of the ramp that comes down where you board the plane. And the police have already been called. So you've got the airline representatives there from the airport. Looks like the stewardess or two were there, and then a couple of police officers. And they're trying to explain to this lady who does not want to listen that she is not getting back on the plane. The airline has denied her flying rights and that she has to leave. All along this is going, all the time this is going on, the plane's not backing out and not going out unscheduled like it's supposed to. And then the husband comes out and wants to know what's going on. They try to explain to him while the wife is still running her mouth at 90 miles an hour. And they're trying to tell the husband he needs to go back in or come back out and go with her out to, the concourse. He starts not wanting to listen. He wants to start carrying on a dialogue with the wife and the police officers. And again, as I said in a previous video, the police are a biggest part of the problem. And as I said on a previous video, I used to be a police officer, so I'm speaking from experience. These police officers should all be fired or reprimanded. And you're thinking, why? Because they are not in charge of the situation. Now, granted, the representatives of the airline are, but they've already made it clear and plain she is not to get back on the airplane. They are denying her flying rights. And the police are standing around over and over and over trying to tell her she can't get back on and blah, blah, blah. She is dictating what is going on. And in a situation like that, the police should always be in charge. Because once you let these people get away with stuff, now it's going to take more effort to regain control. They should have had control right from the beginning. Ma'am, you are not getting back on. You're being denied access to the plane. Either come with us or get arrested. And the second time you've told her, she gets handcuffed and you're gone. Instead, over and over and over and over, they're telling her, what's going to happen. And I'm sitting there talking to the phone. Shut the fuck up and just do it. Do what you're being paid to do. Be in charge, control the situation, escort her out, and if she resists, you arrest her. End of story. Now, but what upsets me is more, these people have missed their leaving time, departure time, and the air traffic control now has to get them back in a line if they can squeeze it in. If this is a major airport, it may take a while. And another big reason I am doing this video is last year we took a cruise in early September. And any other time we've taken a cruise, we flew into Raleigh, or we didn't fly into Raleigh, we drove to Raleigh to catch a plane to go to Orlando and then take a bus out to our ship. But with all the bullshit, just like this as a perfect example, people missing the cruise ships because the plane was delayed by a couple of hours. Folks, the ship is not going to wait because some asshole somewhere was delaying your flight to take off. You were delayed 2 or 3 hours, and getting out of that airport and getting down to wherever you're going, in my case, Orlando, and missing the cruise ship. The ship is not going to waste. And you say, why are you doing this video? Last year, we spent extra money to fly down on Friday afternoon for a Saturday afternoon departure. Why? just in case we happen to be on one of these planes or one of these flaming assholes has to cause trouble. And in some cases, they have to completely deplane. Everyone has to get off that plane before they try to grapple with this person if they're resisting and drag them off. Then you've got to completely reboard the plane. I was not going to put up that bullshit and have a chance of missing the cruise because we're not going to get reimbursed for it. So we went down on Friday, stayed at a motel right next to the airport, and that way in the morning we get up, we catch the shuttle bus, go right over, catch our shuttle bus, and head over. But this is bullshit. I and others should not have, my family and I should not have to spend extra money, for an extra motel we don't need just because some flaming asshole on maybe the flight we're taking has to act up and act like the world revolves around me. I dictate how things revolve around me. The hell with all these rules that the airport or the airlines might have. I am going to do what I want, and I don't give a rat's ass if it affects everyone on the plane because, folks, it will. Okay? And so this is what reason for this video. This is bullshit. The police need to start getting their act together. You give a person a reasonable time of 2 or 3 chances and then nab their ass, arrest them, or whatever you're going to do. But to go on for, like I said in a previous video, 10, 15, 20 warnings, that's bullshit, folks. Especially when you're inconveniencing a plane full of people who have some place to go. And especially if they're going to go to another place and have a connecting flight, and there's not a lot of time, they need to cut this bullshit out. I know this video is not going to change anything, but I just want my views known as as a former police officer, I blame the police. Give them just too much time. The police are not in control. Eventually, yes, eventually they do get their way. But how long does it take? And again, in the case of this airline, you're inconveniencing a lot of people who might miss a cruise, might miss a connecting flight, only because you're dragging your feet and letting this perpetrator dictate and rule the situation. That is not what you're being paid to do. You're being paid to control the situation and get it back to normal as quick as possible. And it just irritates me to no end when I see these police officers on these body cams. Body cams, you're seeing the real thing. Just, especially in this case where you're in an airport, you're affecting other flyers who are already aboard the plane. Sit around and let this lady control the situation. She dictates the circumstances. This is bullshit, folks. Granted, the police are 99.999 doing the right thing, but in some cases, because these videos are not really representative of an everyday situation, but if you're involved in it, then it does affect you, folks. The police need to get their act together, and no matter what department you're on, and just put the nail the wood, hell, whatever it is that saying is about nailing the wood or whatever that bullshit is, Get the job done and go back to normal. This bullshit of letting them dictate it is ridiculous. And I'm getting ridiculous. I'm rambling on. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and have a good one.